when I realized Boho Knots was not just about, making pretty things or just making decors or trinklets, more about emotions and connection. So even during my craziest week, I try to be present and remind myself why I'm doing this. I don't think so. I live slowly every day. I live aware. I think that's a kind of slowness too.
Today's guest isn't just a maker, she's a whole mood. From tying thousands of knots to untying the ones in her own mind, she's turned handmade macram into a movement. She's the founder of the Boho Knots, a brand that lives at the intersection of slow living and soulful space making. Whether it's a tiny castle or an entire room makeover, she's all about grounding beauty, quiet joy, and intentional living. Let's welcome Pooja.
Hi Pooja,
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. You're looking stunning today.
Thank you so much. You're looking very pretty.
Thank you. I want to know more about your journey with the boho knots. It's as layered as a fringe-heavy wall hanging, and you've called it your twofold journey. So tell us, when did you realize that the boho knots wasn't just about pretty corners, but about something deeper?
I think it happened slowly. Initially it was about making pretty things and feeling good about it. And slowly I started to, think about how much it was helping me to stay calm and giving me purpose. So when people started telling me about my pieces and told me how my pieces made them feel, so that's when I realized Boho Knots was not just about, making pretty things or just making decors or trinklets. It was about, like more about emotions and connection.
A little validation and encouragement goes a long way.
That's so true, yeah.
What was it about macram that had you totally hooked? Was it the knots, the rhythm, the therapy, or just an excuse to hold yarn?
It was honestly about that soulful feeling that it gave me. So when I used to sit and make things, my mind would go quiet. So it felt like therapy for me, slow, peaceful, and safe. So I think that's what keep me going now.
Knotting is your white noise machine.
Yeah, so true.
Let's get into the soul of your spaces. You talk a lot about slow living and intention, which sounds very peaceful. But be honest, how slow is the living really during a deadline week?
Not very slow. I think it's more about how I handle my chaos. So even during my craziest week, I try to be present. So even if I'm rushing, I just take a cup of coffee for myself, sit back, listen to my favorite music, and think and remind myself why I'm doing this. So that's what keep me going, and that's what want, like everybody wants it.
True.
Everybody should have that.
I agree.
And I don't think so. I live slowly every day. I live aware. I think that's a kind of slowness too.
I completely agree with that. You're an architect turned macram artist turned space stylist. How does that shape your approach?
So absolutely, it's like when you go to some spaces or somebody's house, I secretly start arranging furniture for myself. It's like, having superpower and curse at the same time. My architecture background taught me to understand the spaces while macram taught me how to feel it. So now when I sit back and when I style my spaces, I think about emotions and how macram could go around it and hold it. So even now I think of, I think myself that how can a space or a corner can make someone feel safe, make them feel held and make them feel seen.
Very true. And I think everybody deserves to have a corner like that.
Yeah, at least one handmade piece or one corner that says something about you changes so much.
Very true. Very true. I want to know more about Pooja and, of course, the Boho Knots. Let's have a small bite of questions
Yeah.
and let's start.
Yeah.
If Boho Knots were a feeling, what would it be?
I think it would be a warm hug from your loved one. safe, soft, and something you didn't know that you wanted until you did it.
It's something you need.
Yeah, yeah.
A corner in your home that gives you main character energy.
My studio space, it's all messy but full of love.
I love that. Your favorite knot to make ever.
I think it's square knot. I think that's the first knot that I learned, and I think I'll always go back to that.
Stays with you, right? The first thing you ever touch stays with you.
Yeah, and it's like the foundation of all the knots. That's why, like, I just love it.
Love that. Earthy tones or monochrome minimalism.
Earthy tones all the way. You give me rust, olives, and warm creams any day.
That I want to see you make more and more pieces with these combinations because that shows grounding, I think, maximum.
Yeah, and more pieces are coming your way.
Wait. One material you're dying to experiment with next.
I think it's raw driftwood and raffia. I'm still working on all those things. I'm very excited to, like just do it. Yeah, just do it.
Sounds very fun.
Yeah.
A design trend you secretly can't stand.
I think it's perfection. Homes are not, or any space is not meant to be perfect. It is meant to be yours, and you need to feel that particular space.
You need to make your home feel like home.
Yeah.
One styling trick that always works, no matter the space.
Textures, mix
Okay?
something soft and rough and light and heavy. That will give depth to any of your product.
This is your architectural mind speaking, no? One macram wall art or plant hangers. Pick one.
Wall art, I think that holds lots of stories.
True. A song that plays in your studio on loop.
Sukumila by Arijit.
Ooh, that's fancy.
Found my piece.
In one word, what does home mean to you?
Belonging. It's like it's more about how you belong to your space. It's just that you come from a long day and there is that one space that should make you feel that it's your home. So that's why I said it's belongingness.
I love that. Pooja, thank you so much for slowing down with us today and reminding us that beauty isn't in noise. It's the stillness, the softness, and the soul of a space. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Where can we find you and your amazing personality tied in knots?
I think you'll find me wherever the chords meet the soul. Mostly on Instagram at the rate Boho Knots, and hopefully in the little corners of your home one day.
Love that. And we'll spread it all over the world.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. And to everybody listening, we'll drop her Instagram handle in the description box below. You can follow her and please take a part of her soul home with you. And please go find your corner, breathe a little deeper, and maybe, just maybe, tie a few knots of your own. This was Dil Se Duniya Tak. Until next time, bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.